Welcome to Captain of Industry. My name is Nilaus and we are here in update 4 and we are slowly progressing with this base. There are a few comments that I want to address before we dive in, but the point of today is going to be health and safety. So just outlining it, this is absolutely atrocious. We want to do something about landfill and we want to do something about water pollution. So those are the big things we want to do something about today. We already did something for the water pollution by taking care of not pouring sour water into the ocean, but we're going to do more because we're still putting waste from the city into the ocean, so we know what to do that. And we also want to give them some medical supplies, which includes plastic, and we also want to make a cool desalination plant because we might also run out of water. So that will be the big things. Just a little taking stock of the situation. This used to be a mountain range, now it's just a nice flat plain, square even. What I've done in between sessions is I have converted my iron and copper plant to my iron and steel plant to being exclusively steel because someone pointed out on Twitch that you don't actually need iron at all. That's not entirely correct, but it's almost correct. If we look at it, the only thing that it goes into recipe wise is construction parts, which has an alternate here with steel. And the other one is the mechanical parts, which also has an alternate for steel. So if we just make steel, then we don't need it. So the only thing we need iron for is for repairing our ship if it gets broken. And the other thing is retaining walls when we build those. So that's my plan, is that we'll just have some iron here and then we'll just buy it. So if this one runs out, we'll buy some, because we shouldn't be using it continuously. We should be using it for a few specific things. What we also want to do oh, look at that, that's awful. Let's get that one up here. Whew, that's we're up to 95, so I can also just do this so we get a little bit, keep this going. Yeah. Yeah, so first things first is actually something completely different. We have our ship is updated as well, so I want to send the ship out, and I want to send it out here to explore that location. There's a little bit of a reason why I choose this specific location, because I think that's a location that we do need. Yes, I think that's the location we need. So we're gonna send it out because I'm also stockpiling a lot of slag for no reason at all. No reason at all. We're just stockpiling it. Let's get started with some food, because we have built some soybeans here, and they are just accumulating. So I really want those to go in. So let's start getting some soybeans, because that should also give us more health. And that's the focus of today. If we can get the protein going, then we can get more health. So that's going to be up here. I have already sort of highlighted a little bit of what we want. And we're going to get a food factory in here. And that's going to be a little bit tricky, because there isn't a whole lot of room, because I want to make sure they can drive past here, so they can still go in and just dump these excess materials in to this location. And therefore I need to go here. And there is just so happen to be just enough room for this. And the one thing that is a little bit tricky is here. That one. So if we do this, there will be that will block. So we really need to see if we can get rid of that. There. Now they should be, if I do this, and look at the tracing, they can now go in here, which is what I want them to be able to. And then we're gonna get a nice box, nice big box, and we see that there are two things out. There's both the, really here, that one. There will be some animal feed that we need to get rid of. I want to feed the animal feed, or put the animal feed over there. So that means we need to get a lift. That is not working, so I need to be here. And then I need another one. Like this. And then these two connect. There. So now it goes over and feeds in here, and that one, and you will then go in here, and this will be tofu. Lovely tofu. And I don't actually want this to be highlighted when empty, because it'll probably be empty most of the time. There. That should get us some tofu going. I'll actually boost this to begin with, because we're going to have a lot of stockpiled here, and we're also going to have a lot of stockpiled into this one, which I'll now just kind of casually let go back into the neighborhood. And then we have, I think we have 2 of those for the potatoes. Yes, so we'll kill the potato one and get that switched to tofu. There. Great. So now we can, that was the first thing. We now have a little bit of soybeans and made into tofu. That should give us also both some health and some Yeah, and some more food. Oh, you went out there. And we also need some boxes for the stuff that we come back with. Where do we want that? I think we'll just make it here and here. This will be electronics because we get that sort of from exploration at this point. There. And let's make this. And we can't get it because someone has put like 1,000,000 potatoes in there. Fine. We got a city. So this city here has something we really want. We have a contract here that gives us slag into sour water. That's a really good contract. But we do need to get higher levels. So I need to do this and load the ship. So we need to go back and forth a few times before we can do that. Good. So that was the first thing. That one. The next thing I want to do is... yeah, the water recycling. But I can't build it, but I can pretend to build it, I guess. Done loading. Then let's get over here. Deliver cargo. That needs to go back and forth. Low of sulfur. Yeah, that's kind of understandable because the sulfur is the one... Oh, hold on. This is... Yeah, this is correct. And the sulfur will now be going up here to be feeding into our tofu. I can't believe we need sulfur for tofu, but we do. Right, so this part here is going to be... We want to get rid of the wastewater. So the wastewater, we can get rid of it. This is really toxic. So 1-to-1 in terms of water pollution. But if I do this one, 160 plus some filter medium plus some chlorine, which we don't have, gives us really good water recycling, and then to get some sludge. So we need to get some filter medium, we need to get chlorine, and we need to be able to deal with sludge. And then we built this water treatment plant. So we're going to be building 2 of these water treatment plants here. And they will be built... I'll build it so that it's good for what, like 6,000 people? Low supply of water. That's... this is also something I want to fix because I want to rely a little bit more on this, which I obviously don't want to, but ultimately this is the one we want to fix by building a desalination plant, but that one thing at a time. This one will also help a lot on water by just alleviating this water need, I think. Anyway, this here, we're gonna get it in. Let's get the recipe. That will be the filter, no, the filter medium, and this one will be the filter medium. And the point of this is, see, that is a tier 2 pipe. It'll go in here. Nope. It'll go in here. Yes. I don't know if that's what I want. I think I can actually make it a little bit closer. Here. I can do this. From here. In there. I just need to go into all locations. There. And then this can go as close. If I do this, I get the warning, which I will never accept to have a warning like that. There. Now, the things outbound. I'm going to get this here. The sludge. That's going to be on ground level. There. How much sludge? 36 plus 36. So eventually, like this... 160, this is 320 I can potentially consume. This is currently using 69. So we're going to have half of one of these enabled, and that is with 69. So it's about 6,000 people we can support with this build. So obviously it's not going to be active all the time. We're going to get some filter medium in, and I do think that we just want to build that simple. Filter medium. Let's just get a small box of this because it's not really an important thing to build. That'll go in here. And then I'll do something weird that I rarely do. But I'll just bounce it over here. There. This will be filter medium inbound. Like that. And warning if empty. Oh, warning if empty on everything. And that goes onwards over to the side. So, what is it I want to do here? Then we can see this sludge. What can we do with it? We can make it into we can burn it. No thanks. Or we can turn it into valuable fuel gas and marginal compost. So let's do that. The anaerobic digester. Let's anaerobic digester this. And actually getting fuel gas is pretty nice. And this will be the sludge to... So here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those will be the ones that we need right now. Yeah. I actually need it to be a little bit further out. That one. And there. So now that's all of it coming in. Then we need something outbound. This is a box here. How close can we make it? I suppose we can make it this close if we want to get rid of it. Sometimes these are not really doing what I want. There. Low sulfur, that's kind of understandable. We'll just have to endure that. And we need a fluid storage like this for that one. And that goes, it's very low quantity, so let's not use the biggest pipes, but just go these pipes. There, that will all be done. And this one will then be fuel gas. And I want to empty half of it, because I don't want it ever to be full. I don't care if it's empty, but I don't want it to be full. This will be now compost, which I'll just get rid of and mark it full because it should never be full. This is actually a really nice spot. I don't like it though. I much rather want it like this. Here, and then this will have to be flipped in direction there. The reason is then I can actually move it a little bit closer once I take this out. And I think I do. So now we have water coming out. This is the only thing, and we need chlorine coming in. So chlorine is going to be made nearby. So I'm actually just going to take the chlorine, and that will go on level 2. Because I can't go level 1 across this. No, because someone did this silly thing. Yeah. So let's go at level 2, coming in to this location. Yep. And this one. There. So that's the chlorine coming in. Now we need water going out. And this water will potentially be a large quantity of water, but level 2 pipe should be fine for now. That'll go out here. There. And this will now go... I want to get it into a box here. The reason why I want it into a box is because I know that this will come out in big bursts, so I don't want the boxes to get stuck. I want it to sort of fill up into this water barrel here and then go in here and there. But I don't want you to be inputting, and I don't really want you to be outputting. And ooh, can I even get in there if I remove this? I don't know. I think this is actually a really nice place that we build it. Because I can't build this now because I don't have the filter medium and I don't have the chlorine, which is what we are going to do next. So this is a little bit irrelevant. So it's ready, but not ready. So let's focus on the water, the chlorine, and the filter medium we need for our water plant. However, if we look at the part here, I'll need to use an electrolyzer, which actually it's quite a lot of power, 300 kilowatt, and we need several of those. We also need the heated evaporation pond, which also takes more power. And we're kind of not having enough power, not having great power right now. So what I want to do is I want to do an extra one, and this is the beauty of this design here, is that it's very easy to just add another one. If I just place it correctly, I'll just place it here. And then I hook it up to the existing pipes. This one here. You are just going to hook up to that. That's the return pipe, the return water. This is the inbound water. And this one will then be the... Whoops. How did that not... Oh, right. It's because this one decided to do a weird... See what's here? That one. Ooh, that's a pipe 1. I don't want a pipe 1. I want a pipe 2. There. So that means it's already done. The one thing though is that now we could easily end up being using too much. So that should be updated. This should be updated as well, just so that we have better return flow. And then from here, we can just let them build this happily, and then we get 50% more power. There, that was the first one we wanted to do. The rotary kiln, okay, random things we're getting. The next thing we want to do is get the filter medium, because filter medium, I'm going to build it here, because filter medium is, or filter media, filter. It needs gravel, and it needs manufactured sand, and it needs coal. Those are all things we have right here. So what if I just build the same thing again, like here, and this one like here? Then that's basically all we need, and then this one could go. And then I need a filter medium that goes into a mixer. Ooh, do I want a... I think I need a mixer too. That one. And that goes here. So this mixer too will make filter media. This one. Now obviously these numbers, we can't keep up with those numbers from here, but that's not really a big deal. That one goes in here, and this one goes, oops, in here. Then the only thing we're missing, that's here, is the coal coming in, which comes in here, and that stays on level 1, because of course it does. And then it goes there. This is one of those cool things where you take an existing build and it just fits so perfectly with this. There we go. That is actually exactly the filter medium we need. And then the filter medium goes into a box like this, and then everyone's happy. There, filter media. Worn if empty, but that's it. This one, I'll just speed build it. Low supply of soybeans. That's, there's nothing much we can do about it. Because that's... We want maybe more soybeans. You can also see we're not keeping up with this. How are we doing here? This is now level 2. We're going to donate one more time, and we are going to go send the ship back. We're going to load this up here. 120. So once we get that, if we look at the contract we want is this one, and it requires level 3. So we need to do one more trip over to feed this. So we got the filter medium of filter media. All of this should be working. I just want to see that it is actually working. We're getting the gravel in. We're not really getting the manufactured sand in, but it's coming here, like small quantities, but it is coming in. Let's see. And there we go. So that one is here, and we should also get the gravel. That will come in eventually. Perfect. Now, chlorine. Okay, so chlorine is chlorine, water, and salt should be done as one thing with the desalination we now have. So there is a electrolyzer. No, it's a thermal desalinator, which takes water in. So the evaporation pond is like a slow one, which just gradually takes a little bit of each. But the desalinator is much more effective. It's actually interesting though how much we get more quantity of liquid out, but we do. I need to design it on green. That's kind of the rule, because you can't see it if I design it on gray. You can have transparent on a gray background. That just doesn't work. Let's see. So we want... let's see. Here and here. And since I am going outbound with some of this, I think I want it like this, and I will want to have a box, big fluid box, like this. Has to be 2 off. So this is the whole point of all we do. We want water in here. So let's get water in here, because we don't have enough water, and this one will produce 300 water if we just take out the recipe we don't like. We're going to be sticking with the high steam here. There, and then we'll build water pumps out here. This one takes 108, and if we look at the water pump, seawater pump, it gets 108. So that's pretty good. Oh, there's a better one. Tall. Oh, there's a tall one. Okay, so never mind. That doesn't do anything for us. So we need to get some things inbound, and I am going to do a little bit weird thing here. And that is, we are going to get here. This will be a tier 1. It's up, over, No. Damn. Try again. Up. Over. In. And then connect. Connect. Like this. And we smokestack out here. Just get rid of it. Now this one is actually going to do wood chips. Why? It has slightly less pollution. And we have a good amount of wood. So if I use wood chips for this one, it's actually going to be really neat. And I will also get a water inbound. I'm going to steal it from the end so that there's always water here. This water will flow around. And remember, all these designs, they're really modular, and they will of course, be available to patron supporters. This is 48, which is kind of a lot. So if we look over here by the trees, we need a shredder. And that needs to go there. This shredder is only one. Oops, there. And goes in here. Goes in here. And then I need a box for the wood inbound. It's just going to be a small box. I don't want to take so much here. That goes here. And that goes here. And is it the same place? That is exactly the same place that we have it. So this is wood. It is request. And it is one if empty. That one. So wood comes in. Plus some water. We'll have to do the first water ourselves. This is here. Then we need to deal with the brine. The brine is 48. So 4 of those is 200. That means we need to get a pipe 2. That goes to level 1. And I guess it goes like this. And then it goes down again. And we stop here. So you're going to go up. Good. So now the brine. What do we want to do with the brine? First of all, I want to make sure that the brine will be thrown out if not necessary. So I need to get this back out here to be throwing it back in the water. Then the two things that we can use brine for, let's have a look. That is, we can use brine for salt and we can use brine for chlorine. So we're going to get this for the salt. That means we need, if we take 2 of these evaporation ponds, then we can consume all of it. There. So that is a here and here. Will that be too close? I think we can do this one. And the water comes in, and the water comes in. And that will, of course, be higher priority. That one. So I want to get it in here if we can. These will now be making into salt, and the brine into salt. So we got salt outbound. But we also have the opportunity or need to get some chlorine. The chlorine is more useful than it looks there. Because if we look at it, it's used for 2 things. It's used for this part here and the cleaning. And it's also used for plastic, which will be the next thing we want. Because plastic is leading into some medical equipment, which leads into medical supplies, which is what we really want. So we need some of these. And let's get a storage here. And that means you cannot be here, but you can be like this. That gets in. This one goes around and back in here. There. And this will take 18. So let's get more. 2, 3, and 4. But there was a warning. By the way, what's the ship doing? Oh, the ship is sent it off. And that should be able to get us that contract enabled. There are many things in this episode. There's a lot of things we want to do at the same time. Here. Have to get all of these. There we go. So now you can see that it follows this line. It's a good distance. Then the only thing we don't have is the loose storage out here for the salt. And that's our build. The salt. Here. Low splash steel. That's kind of uncool. Low splash steel. Yeah, they're really using a lot of steel. Way more than I honestly like. And there's a reason for it. And that's because some idiot has decided they want to store 3,000 of each construction parts. And it has taken quite a while to build this up. And while this is building up, also we've been doing yeah, so while this is building up, as it is now, then it's gonna take a while to sort of have this stall out, which it should soon. And once that stalls out, then hopefully we can also get this one to actually accumulate. Done for the settlement, and oh, you should have gone back in the meantime. So now it's just a matter of taking this beautiful build and putting it down here. I want to build it as close as possible. Oh, I actually want to build it like this, don't I? I think so. Let me see. Distance-wise from... I want to have it 2. Like that. And I just hope and pray that I have room for the seafloor plumps out here. That one, that one, that one, and that one. Sweet. And I also need this one to be ejecting back into those storage of steel. Is annoying to look at, but it is. We need to do it. Does that sort of go further out? Yes, it does. Yeah, I can't pull it that much back, actually. There. Because if I pull it back, then it's going to interrupt that one. Gold smelting is next. So this... Oh, it's not actually working because I need... this is tier 2 pipes. Good. They go in here. And... lo and behold, this is going to be our massive, glorious, awesome water and salt and chlorine build. Sweet. And this one should also be warning if empty. It really shouldn't be, but it will. Cool. Let's build. I love this build. Love that we can just waste unity on it. And everything is... oh, liquid pump has not gotten a... there. And dropping that is not getting anything. Or not getting any pollution from this, from dumping brine back into, like dumping salt water back into the salty ocean. Not really big deal. And shipyard is full. Oh, it dropped it off. So that means now we can actually buy this contract. There we go. We got the contract. So time to build something where we are importing something really silly. This is going to be done. I want to be flagging this when it's full, because that would be interesting. So why is it not working? Well, it's not working because we need to get wood is coming in, yes, but we do need some manually inputted water. So once we get the manual input water, then it's going to be starting, because it needs some steam to go here. This has water, but it doesn't have steam. So as soon as this one comes in, hey, there's the water truck, and that gets in. Make the steam. And that should get some steam in here. There we go. So, that works. Does it work? Yay, we got the first bit of water. Cool. And we should also then get the brine. Let's see. We also want this one to be priority. So, this is priority and this is priority. And I would like the salt. Yeah, we had a salt location here that got thrown out. Perfect. This is nice. No steel, no chlorine. Chlorine is fine. The chlorine will now go over, as you can see, very close by. It just goes over and goes into that one. And we got the filter medium. That means this one can also be built. Since this one, because that's... And maybe that's actually better to build it like this. It looks better to do it here. I could also build it out here. Wouldn't that be nicer? I really like them having sort of been 2 away. Yeah, let's build it like this. And so it's time to also build this one. And that should, hopefully, if we look at how much water pollution we have 7.8, and we'd like to get rid of the 7.8. This is working, and I will... one of these will definitely be paused, and I will also pause 2 of these because they will definitely not be used for a very long time. So, the... chlorine is coming in. This one wants to get some things delivered. No thanks. And you don't want to get things delivered either. There we go. They will need to go to here. And low supply filter media. That is coming. And then we have the water coming out from here. 1, 2, 3. That has to be staying at level 3. go over to this location and get in. So that gets the return water. Great. Is the water coming in here? Until we get the filter medium, I can't delete this, but now I can't delete it. And I can also delete this one. There. Okay, so now the water flows in. Does it work here? Yes. And it will only fill up like half speed, which is great, but it will fill up. They'll get some random crap out here. The sludge goes into these two and gets us some fuel gas. What are we going to do with the fuel gas? Well, what if it fills up? Then I am simply going to make a little extra box over here. Little extra box, is that there? I'm just simply going to make it here. This one is going to be fuel gas. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to request. It is simply just going to sit here. And that means that if there is any excess that wants to be exported, it can be put over here. And then it can go in here and become part of the conversion of fuel gas to hydrogen. And then it'll be out here as hydrogen or be used as fuel for this build. So that means it's also just safe. So the next thing we want to build, now this is working and fully supported. The only problem we have is that we have simply too much water. I'm going to ignore that problem because what could possibly go wrong if you ignore problems? I'm going to ignore it because I rather want to build this thing because I think that's more fun and we really want to get this going. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles in. That's going to be here. So this will be a build, and I'm going to build these big builds, that one, and then a loose storage. I'm going to 1, 2, 3. Then I am going to get some product inbound. There, this loose storage. I'll build it right here. I guess, no, I actually need one back again. And low supply of steel. So what I want to do is I want to get that's, oh yeah, you're gonna go in here, you're gonna go in here, you'll go out there, and out there. Then this will assign a contract, and that will be this contract. So what happens now is that these will now be marked as slag. And then if I get, this contract says 2000 slag, so 3 times 800 is enough. And then I'll get 800 back. That's this one. Ooh, struggling to find. Oh my god, what are they doing? That also needs to be fixed. Not right now, we're doing something else. Let me just get this one. And this outbound, this outbound. Let's see. Yes, it's connected. 1, 2. Let's get it in here. Oh, it's too far. Yeah. Follow along on this line. And then here, go one up and merge it into this line. This line will never be fully saturated, or they'll never be overwhelmed, so it shouldn't be a problem. This one will do the slag inbound. Just give me all the slag you can, and then you will get a ship. Let's Unity build it. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just need to get it done. If there's no struggling with destinations, once this is coming in, and then we should see a lot of slag coming in, because these here, I don't want these requesting anymore. I simply want them to just get all this beautiful slag, turn it into beautiful, beautiful sour water. It's crazy that sour water is a precious thing, but it gets us sulfur that we need. It gets us fertilization that we need, and yeah, and also rubber that we need. So it just gives us too many good things. So we need a ship coming in, and this one says heavy oil, and it bothers me that it says heavy oil, that it defaults to heavy oil. Don't know why. Oh, no, I don't know why it does. But anyway, when the ship comes in, it's coming in here. Then I will switch you to being diesel. Done. And that means you are also going to get diesel in here, so that we can get it. And I will be slow steaming it now. I don't need to do that. First we need to get just a ton of this. So here's what happens. This one is filling up with slag. And I actually think these are simply too slow. There. There we go. So now this works a lot better. So that means once this is full, it'll go to 2400, go out, and then it'll come back with some sour water. Amazing. So I just did a major overhaul of water in this base, and we'll just walk through it. Unfortunately, I can't really get rid of this fast enough. That's a good sign, I guess. So what we're happening is this water here is coming on a tier 3 pipe, so it can carry 450. It goes over here. It goes past the fuel here, and it feeds in here. Not much, but a little bit, like 50 or something. Goes up. And also I noticed that this needs to go, because I just moved the whole thing over just a little bit. So it goes, now it goes, previously went from this groundwater reservoir and in here, but now it goes the other way. So it goes into this location where it will be primarily using the stuff from Desalination, and the one coming down here, that is coming from this location here. So this will run out, and therefore we should also just don't care, because I want this to run out because I want to use it. Then it goes in here, and then I have like topping up with any groundwater, which means these should never work, but you know, it's nice to have a backup. And then up here we're now feeding, instead of feeding the copper from this rainwater reservoir, we are now feeding from the main line. This main line should probably also be upgraded as well, because that's going to go all the way up here, where it'll then go into, that's seriously a level 1 pipe. That's not a good idea. That will go into our power plant, which is somehow not the most important, really? How is power plant not the most important thing in the whole wide world? Oh, this is inbound. Yes, so it comes in and then it goes out to power, and let's do power first, and then any secondary, which we will, go back, and then goes back in here to feed all the farms, because the farms will need quite a lot. That means this one is now also being part of it, and this will be the primary way of filling in the water, the farms, and then also the power plant. So that means this one should also be draining. As we can see now, it is draining quickly, and it should be, because if it's empty, then we're not wasting any of the rain, but if it's full, then we are kind of wasting the rain. And the steel just does not seem like it wants to keep up. That's crazy. I thought it would be when these would be stockpiled, but we need to get better steel. So that was like a major overhaul of this. We got better pollution, or better pollution protection here. We really shouldn't get, okay, there's landfill, there's ships pollution, but there is no water pollution anymore. So that's nice, no water pollution. So landfill pollution is also something I'd like to get rid of, and the only way, or the only place we get waste pollution is by throwing the waste here in the water. So let's not do that. What can we do with the waste instead? We can then put it in here into an incineration plant, which will just make some gas instead. So let's do that. That is here, and I will somehow build it maybe like this. No, like this, because it has to be even. Yeah. And recipe, we are going to do this recipe, and I will get this one in, but that's not very fast, so I'll just upgrade that. Then we are going to use, hey, look at this, we actually have something. This could be at level 2. This will not be very fast, so just get a little bit, 1, 2, and it goes over to here, and then in. Then we also have water, 1, 2, 3, and it goes into this pipe. That means we have water and that, and then we get, oh, look at that. There is a glorious little recycling. So how much we get? 18. That's enough to warrant a cooling tower there. And that means this water could come back and actually feed into feed in here. There. That pipe bouncer. Yeah. That pipe bouncer. And then you have to go into the same pipe bouncer as a level 1 pipe, yes. And then the only thing remaining is going to be the smokestack here. And obviously, if it's running full time, then it won't, but I'm not getting it generating 144. So it's only in the beginning. Let's do this. And I will now prioritize that one inbound, because that's the recycled water. That should, if all things are working, then it should be... Oh, this is actually expensive. Wow. Get us this. The waste is now being processed in here. So now we will not throw any waste into the water, and that means no waste pollution. It doesn't stop immediately. I think it takes like 10 years for the landfill pollution to disappear. So that's also good. Now there's only one thing more we can do to get this better, and that's actually quite a big build, but I'm a little bit ambitious, so this episode may go a little bit long, but I think we'll have so many good designs in this episode that it makes sense. And remember, I am saying it again, if you want these designs, you can of course just sit and copy paste it from the screen, but you can also just grab it as if you are a patron supporter. So thank you everyone who's supporting on Patreon. Let's do a design. Right. Whew. What is it we want? We want medical supplies. So let's do that. This steel is just infuriating. What could I do to get health? Okay, we don't need the health anymore. We can also just do this. And I could definitely get some... Oh, look at that. That's actually another problem. We're simply not getting enough iron inbound. Okay, let me fix that. Well, let's build something nice here. Well, first thing we want to be is an assembler. Number 3, assembler. Let's try to sort of work backwards from this. So this will be, what is it we want? We want to make medical supplies. There. So medical supplies, we get 24 medical supplies, and that requires 12 disinfectant and 12 medical equipment. So let's try to figure out how that can be done. Let's see. Probably just like this, and this will now be medical equipment, which can only make 6 of those. So, oops, we need 2 of these. All right, so that's easy. So far so good. So that requires steel and plastic. Plastic is something we create, and steel is something we get in, because lovely, we have tons of steel, right? Steel is not a problem at all. There. This will be... that looks pretty nice. And I can do steel. I will do it 2 away. Here. So this will be steel. And this will be medical supplies. And also 1 if empty. There. That's easy. And then the plastic as well. And then what is the other thing? The other thing we want is disinfectant. Disinfectant is made here in a chemical plant. So let's build a chemical plant up here. Let's build that as close as possible. This will be disinfectant. 12 disinfectant. So this is the right number or quantity, and that goes directly in here. That needs also some plastic, and I'll flip it. There. So we get this one needs ethanol and plastic. So now the only thing we need is ethanol and plastic. That means let's figure out how to make plastic. Plastic is coming from ethanol. So we need ethanol for both. So ethanol is made into plastic, and this is all good. It also needs chlorine. Hey, we just already got that, so no problem. So let's get a polymerization plant. Let's go for a ratio that says 2 of these good old plants here. How, where, why, how do we want to build it? I think we want to jam it like this, and then flip it so that these 2 can combine. And this will be that one. So I know that some people like using the naphtha from your oil, but I don't want to mix my oil. I want to mix this one here. And this also, by the way, means that I need another one that is... do I have that actually? No, I don't. Okay, so I'm just going to take you. I'll build that here. And remember to get these inbound. And this one will be, we do need this, yes, and we also need more of that. And I do not want this to go all the way up. We'll just get it at 100, that's fine. And let's get some of this. And build, which is more water demand. Still got more people, good. So that was now that means we now building up some more corn here and there after we're going to be using this, because corn comes backwards. This was ethanol. Ethanol comes from corn mash, and corn mash is here. So corn mash can make 9 of these. So let's start with this process here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and these will make corn mash. So this is now 36 of this. Then the next step is in fermentation tank, and that's going to be 1, 2, and 3. Each of these fermentation tanks can consume 12, so that's again also consuming 36, and it outputs 8 times 3, that's 24. 12 in here, 12 in here, but some of it also has to go by. Okay. So that is basically all we need to do. And then what we need is mash. We need a bit of water. We get some animal feed out. The animal feed, I'll just put it in a box at this point. I think that's the easiest. Okay, so let's see. So let's start by getting... I don't know about the distances. Actually, maybe I should do it this way. So I'll build it backwards. Let's start by getting a flat conveyor here, and that will go something like this. You're gonna go in, you're gonna go in here, and you're gonna go in here. Quantities is definitely less than a full belt, while this is more than a full belt. So if I was doing this here, that would actually be neat, because you could then go in and you can go in. And I will need a smokestack here, right? And then all I need is, oh yeah, kind of need a little bit more space, because I also need here or maybe I just compact it a little bit more, because this will be the medical supplies. No, this will be the plastic. And I need 2 plastic, because I need a lot of plastic down the line. I guess this is an option of this going in here. Yeah. It will though need to be a little bit faster. And then I would need to get a flat lift here. And a flat lift. That one. And that one. And then it's just a matter of getting this in. Here. I think it looks better if it has, like, what would we say, a little bit more breathing room here. Like this. That would look better. So that's all that inbound. Then what do we need inbound here? We need the chlorine inbound, which comes here and here. And we also need the... Does this need a... Yes, this definitely need a pipe bouncer. Let's get the pipe bouncer here, because I need... That goes in here. That goes in here. And then... This can go closer. Something like this. And going up and hitting this one. And this will just be even. 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Sure. And we need some more smokestacks. I don't bother consolidating these smokestacks. We just built a smokestack here. And that means the next thing, not the last thing, but we need here. This seems to be where we can bring it by. This will be more chlorine in and 1 if empty. Yes. And that goes in at this point. There. That's the chlorine. Good. Next in, this is some oxygen, and it is this one. So I am pretty sure we want this on ground level. That's also always how it is. Always better to get this, there, animal feed. Empty and one if full. Good. Yeah, it's always easier to get the solids on the ground floor because pipes are easier to move up and down. There. Typical. And then the question, can I get closer? Yes. I would need to get 2 inbounds. But I can still get closer. I can get here and not be in real trouble. So, this here. Let's get a pipe bouncer right in the middle. I think. At level 1. And there. That one. And and then all of these go in as well. In. Good. So that's all of the mash going in on a pipe and then go back out. Then we need 16 plus 16 plus 16. That's 48. So we need one of these. That's an air separator and a build. I actually really like this way of doing it. Like, and that will be here and here. Nope. Yeah. And this goes up 2 levels. 1, 2. That one. And then a few more vents for random nitrogen back in the atmosphere. Okay, so only the last step remaining. That's going to be one of these. No. Which will be... That's the most important one. Corn. Get it. And do I want to complain if empty? I guess so. And... Inbound. 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 And... Inbound. Whew. And then the water will just be wherever we can get the water. But where do I want to build it? My thought is, can I even compact it a little bit more? Can I compact it more? I can compact it a few tiles more by getting it this. Do I bother? Not really. Like, there's a little bit too much breathing over here, but it's fine. Then I think I actually want to build it here. Right, if you look at... Yeah, I think I can build it here. Yes. So I'll have to sacrifice some of this. Yeah, I guess so. Because I don't want to build it here because then I can't expand out here. I don't want to build it here because then I can expand when I get the glass upgrade. I don't want to build it here because this is for a sort of late game food production. Or not late game, but a little bit later food production, I think. Yes. So this is kind of where I need to go. So I've squeezed it in here. There's not a lot of space, but I think I should have enough space here. So let's build it, and hopefully we will get some... this one, you are getting 66 of these in 1 month's time. Nice. That's good. Where else do we... Oh, this has some... Interesting that these are not being picked up. They should be. They should be. They're gonna be picked up. What about... Here we got a little bit of corn. So we do have some corn that we... I'm kind of wondering why. It looks like we got way too much vegetables, which is like something you'd never have. Interesting. Tofu, we obviously don't have enough of that. But this one gets tofu and also some farms. And of course the corn is not there. No recipe selected. That's also silly that this one has to be selecting a recipe. I don't know if there are more recipes later. Maybe there are, but at least at this point. So we're getting something in here. That's nice. I guess I'm not gonna put a warning because this will just get whatever there is, and I think this one is also requesting it, but it's requesting it at priority 10, while this one is requesting it at priority 9. So it should go in here first. Should, right? We are getting some ethanol. Ethanol will go both in here a little bit and on in here. We should be seeing this one will not get a warning. We should see some plastic coming out soon. I mean, there's something producing, so this one is producing, so we should get the first bit of plastic out. There we go, a little bit of plastic. Some go in. Yeah, I don't know if this is enough. Oh, not quite enough, but it'll get enough to get one build of disinfectant. It'll also get one build of medical equipment. Hopefully that'll be enough to just get one build of medical supplies. I mean, it's getting there, but it is relying, of course, on more corn coming in. So this is why we built that one additional. What is this one not working? See, this is crazy. Maybe I should just do this one and switch it over to corn for now at least. Let's do that. Only thing remaining to actually get the benefit of it is to build a clinic down here. And the clinic should specify what kind of medical equipment it needs. That will give us a bonus of 0.5 unity. That's not much, but 15 health, which is amazing because 15 health will also just get us to a point where, look at that, we got the landfill pollution to a point where this is not a problem and we can remove the last edict here, which is in effect another +1 unity. So it basically gives us +1.5 unity, which is very nice. Let's see if something comes in and once they start working on it. Here's an interesting thing. I have gotten so much sour water and I have forgotten to actually enable all of these things. So, and we're also getting like a ton of fertilizer from this. So this is very nice. We can now process it more and it'll probably be stuck on the fertilizer build. And let's see. Over here, we are also getting a decent amount. We've just burned through a lot of the corn. If we look at it, we are getting a good bit of plastic. Once this plastic is full, like I'm building this plastic also for future perspectives because we're going to need it for the PCBs so we need soon. And maybe also for some bag of snacks that we also need. So this is just a little bit of future proof. 72 plastic is really nice. We got something here. I'm pretty sure something has already been brought in. Yeah, yes, something has been brought in and they are consuming 15 per minute. And there is a cold. Oh, what does it do? Month left and health penalty -5. But it also should have an effect on that. We barely noticed it. And we're now up to +33%, 33 here. That's very nice. And that means we can now go over here and remove that. And we got another location explored. And yeah, this is brilliant. We can now do some convenience thing because we actually have +5 unity. That means we could even go something like this and go 25% extra here, or we could lower the maintenance. That would also be juicy. Yeah, that's some really nice things we can do here with our unity. Maybe we'll just do like this because we don't really have a lot of research left that we don't have. We haven't done here. That one as well. We have a few things here, but we're pretty much out of research. There. It won't be long. But anyway, that is going to be wrapping up this episode. Let's just take stock of the situation of what we built. So the first thing we built was the water waste treatment plant, which means that we lowered all of the waste being poured in the water, so no more water waste. Then in order to do that, we had to build some desalination, some chlorine, which we also needed for other things, but this desalination plant is also giving us 264 net water per minute, which is insane. So also relieving the pressure on our groundwater wells. Then we of course overhauled all of the water, but that was like just something to make it work. We got a little bit of the filter medium, which is also going to be used later on for the toxic slurry from nuclear waste. And then we built the medical facility here. So that's also done. So I think there was 3 really good builds. We also expanded our power, but that's just like step down at when it works. But 3 really cool, neat designs. Then we're ready for moving further up the tech tree. What would be the next thing? Maybe some better steel would be nice. We need to get closer. We are working our way closer to PCBs and electronics. So that's also really nice. And yeah, I mean, I know that a lot of people are saying trains, and I should have mentioned that at the beginning. I'll probably mention it again at the beginning of next episode. I need to have a good suggestion for trains. I don't want to build trains if I can't come up with a good use case for it. So if you have a good use case in this specific base, then by all means, let me know. I'd love to hear it, because I haven't found something that just begs for me to implement trains yet. When we get get another island, then sure. But until then, I don't really see it. But if you have good ideas, let me know. And of course, as usual, the blueprints are available and save games are available to Patreon supporters. So if you are supporting, thank you very much. And then I'll see you guys in the next episode. Until then, take care and stay effective.